I had been in the Maya area quite a lot ever since I was a sophomore at Harvard. Something went drastically wrong with these people and with this civilization. This area was abandoned, really, pretty much for hundreds and hundreds, almost 800 years. And center after center, city after city, failed to put up dated stone monuments.
With 130,000 years of human prehistory, of which only the last 13,000 years have been documented because of the archaeological dogma that there was no point in looking deeper. Goodness knows what was happening here in that time that so far just nobody has cared to look for. It could have been the location of hitherto unrecognized advances and developments in the story of civilization.
Welcome to the mysterious world of Gunung Padang, Southeast Asia's largest and most mysterious megalithic site, nestled deep in the mountains of West Java, Indonesia. Today we're diving into the secrets of this ancient structure that dates back thousands of years. From hidden chambers beneath its massive stone terraces to controversial age, estimates that challenge our understanding of human history, what untold stories does Gunung Padang hold? Stay tuned as we uncover the layers of mystery surrounding this incredible archaeological puzzle. Gunung Padang is shrouded in mystery due to its extensive stone structures and enigmatic origins. The site, situated on a mountain about 30 kilometers southwest of Cianjur and 90 kilometers from Jakarta, first caught the attention of the international community during the Dutch colonial era in Indonesia. Reports dating back to the 1910s describe Dutch historians and archaeologists being intrigued by its large stones arranged in complex patterns. Despite these early recognitions, it wasn't until much later, with the maturity of Indonesia's own archaeological institutions, that Gunung Padang received more thorough exploration. In the mid-20th century, the site was sporadically studied by local researchers, and during the 1970s and the 1980s, Indonesian archaeologists conducted preliminary surveys, noting the extensive terraced structures. However, these were still relatively surface-level explorations. A significant turn in the investigation of Gunung Padang occurred in 2010 when Dr. Danny Hilman Natawijaya, a geologist associated with the Indonesian Institute of Sciences, took an active interest in the site due to its unique geological formations. Dr. Natawijaya's engagement marked the beginning of an in-depth exploration using modern technologies such as ground-penetrating radar, seismic tomography, and advanced radiocarbon dating techniques, which allowed researchers to peer beneath the surface and uncover layers and features previously unseen. From 2011 to 2012, early radiocarbon tests on these layers suggested that the upper visible layers of the site were constructed between 500 and 1500 years ago, aligning with the age of other known megalithic sites in Southeast Asia. However, the narrative took a dramatic turn in 2013, when deeper investigations indicated the presence of layers that could date back to at least 9000 BC, and possibly as far back as 20,000 BC. These findings, which suggested a much older timeline for human civilization in Southeast Asia, were further complemented in 2014 by discoveries of potential man-made structures and chambers beneath the mountain's surface, adding layers of mystery and complexity to the site's construction. The implications of these findings are profound, stirring significant debate among the archaeological community. If the estimations hold true, they would indicate that advanced societies capable of complex construction projects existed in Southeast Asia far earlier than previously believed. The exploration of Gunung Padang not only challenges our understanding of prehistoric human activity, but also stirs national pride in Indonesia, leading to increased support from the government for archaeological research to delve deeper into the country's ancient history. This ongoing research continues to unveil new facets of the site, promising to enrich our understanding of early human societies. Gunung Padang is a fascinating archaeological site that showcases the ancient engineering and architectural prowess of its builders. Perched atop a hill and sprawling over an area of roughly 900 square meters, this site is one of Southeast Asia's most significant megalithic complexes. The builders employed a variety of rectangular andesite stones, a volcanic rock noted for its hardness, which they arranged into massive terraces that narrate the tale of different epochs and construction techniques. The stones at Gunung Padang vary widely in size, with some weighing several tons and the largest reaching up to 7 meters in length and weighing over 40 tons. The method used to arrange these heavy stones into terraces would have required not only a sophisticated knowledge of engineering, but also the use of tools like levers, wooden rollers, and perhaps the power of humans or animals. Surrounding these terraces are walls built from columnar joints of volcanic rocks. These walls serve both functional and aesthetic purposes, indicating that the ancient builders not only sought durability against weathering, but also had an eye for design. Radiocarbon dating of the organic materials found within the soil layers tells us that the upper visible layers of the site were constructed between 500 and 1500 BC. However, it is the deeper, less visible layers that truly captivate archaeologists, as advanced imaging techniques suggest there could be constructions buried that date back farther. If these findings prove accurate, Gunung Padang would not only be the oldest known megalithic site in Southeast Asia, but would also rival the age of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which is currently considered one of the world's oldest temple complexes. One intriguing theory about Gunung Padang is that it might have served as more than just a communal or ceremonial center. It could have had astronomical purposes. Some researchers believe that the arrangement of the stones and the orientation of the terraces could align with celestial bodies and significant events like solstices and equinoxes, a practice observed in other ancient megalithic sites around the world. This suggests that the site's creators had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy, which they incorporated into their religious and social practices. When compared to Stonehenge in England, which was built between 3000 BC and 2000 BC, Gunung Padang's potential origins around 20,000 BC place it much earlier in the timeline of megalithic construction. While both sites share similarities in their possible astronomical significance and their use of large stones, Gunung Padang's terraces add a unique layer of complexity and grandeur, suggesting that megalithic culture in Southeast Asia could be far older than previously understood. Continuing our exploration of Gunung Padang, let's delve deeper into the remarkable aspects that highlight its ancient architectural ingenuity and potential cosmological significance. The site's construction techniques are particularly impressive due to the massive columnar basalt rocks that comprise its structure. Not native to the immediate area, these rocks were transported several kilometers, showcasing the ancient builders' advanced knowledge in engineering and logistics. The likely method of moving these heavy stones involved rolling them over logs, a challenging feat given the terrain and the weight of the stones, which could reach several tons. Furthermore, the layout of Gunung Padang may reflect more than just architectural intent. It seems to mirror an astronomical blueprint similar to that of Stonehenge or the pyramids of Giza, which align with solstices and other celestial events. This alignment suggests that Gunung Padang might have served as an ancient observatory, with certain stones positioned to mark solar and lunar events, thereby serving a practical purpose in agricultural and ceremonial life. Recent investigations have brought to light another fascinating feature: large underground chambers revealed through geophysical surveys. These chambers could potentially be ancient burial sites or storage for cultural artifacts, representing older construction phases concealed beneath more recent layers. This discovery hints at a much larger and more complex site than what is visible on the surface. The debates surrounding the age of Gunung Padang are as lively as they are pivotal. Some researchers suggest that the site could be up to 22,000 years old, based on indirect dating methods such as analyzing sediment layers and geological formations. These controversial estimates, if proven correct, would challenge the established timelines of human civilization and technology development, making Gunung Padang a key site for understanding prehistoric human societies. Additionally, there are speculative theories about the carvings and inscriptions found at Gunung Padang, possibly indicating cultural links with other distant ancient civilizations. These theories, while not yet proven, suggest that the site could have connections as far-reaching as Africa or the Indian subcontinent, hinting at a more interconnected prehistoric world. An interesting comparison can be drawn between Gunung Padang and Nan Madol, located on the island of Pohnpei in the western Pacific Ocean. Known as the Venice of the Pacific, Nan Madol features ruins linked by canals and constructed with large basalt logs, similar to the massive stone pillars used at Gunung Padang. Both sites demonstrate advanced quarrying, transporting, and assembly techniques in challenging environments, showcasing the ingenuity of their builders and possibly suggesting exchanges of cultural practices and technological knowledge across vast distances. These comparisons not only underline the architectural achievements of these ancient builders, but also enrich our understanding of their capabilities and the extent of their cultural interactions.
There was a Spanish traveler who crossed the entire width of South America. Some years after the conquest of Peru had begun, he reported seeing huge cities. Within 100 years, other Spaniards were in there exploring. They couldn't find the cities. So they said, he must have made it all up. And that's what academia continued to say. And they're only being found now.
Perched on the rugged hills overlooking the ancient city of Cusco, the capital of the Inca Empire, stands the majestic fortress of Sacsayhuaman. This colossal structure, crafted with mind-boggling precision and architectural genius, has withstood the ravages of time, silently guarding the secrets of a civilization long past.
This is one of those cases where the science is even more sensational than the headlines.
Imagine stones so large and perfectly fitted that not even a piece of paper can slide between them, and you begin to grasp the mystery and allure of Sacsayhuaman. This fortress, more than just a military bastion, is a testament to the Incas' advanced understanding of engineering, astronomy, and their profound connection to the natural world, challenging us to rethink our perceptions of the ancient world. Its story begins long before it caught the eye of Western historians and archaeologists, having been a significant part of local life and culture well before the Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire in the early 16th century.
The horrendous catastrophe of the Spanish conquest. The Spanish sent ahead of them terrible diseases like smallpox.
The Spanish first encountered Sacsayhuaman during their conquest of Cusco in 1533. Led by Francisco Pizarro and his brothers, the conquistadors were immediately struck by the grandeur and precision of the fortress, which was then a central feature of the Inca capital. Among the earliest and most vivid descriptions we have of Sacsayhuaman were penned by Pedro Sancho, Pizarro's secretary. Writing shortly after the fall of Cusco, Sancho's detailed accounts, alongside those of his contemporaries, provided a first glimpse into the size of the stones and the sophistication of the construction, laying a foundation for future archaeological investigations.
That's me, for scale, standing beside that block.
As the 19th century rolled around, the ruins of Sacsayhuaman piqued the interest of international travelers and scholars, spurred on by the growing field of archaeology. Notable among these was Ephraim George Squire, who visited Peru in the 1860s. His detailed sketches and descriptions further fueled worldwide interest and brought more attention to the site's historical and architectural significance. By the early 20th century, the first systematic studies were underway, mapping the site's structures and attempting to understand its historical context. However, these early efforts were often limited by the techniques of the time and a colonial mindset that occasionally misinterpreted the site's purpose and construction.
Archaeology gives this work entirely to the Incas, even though the Incas themselves recognized and honored the work of predecessors.
Advancements in archaeological methods in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, including digital mapping, detailed stratigraphic analysis, and remote sensing, have significantly enhanced our understanding of Sacsayhuaman. These modern techniques have shed light on the construction sequence, the true extent of the site, and its various phases of use, ensuring that each stone and artifact found continues to contribute to the story of a civilization known for its remarkable architectural feats and deep integration with its environment and the cosmos. The construction of Sacsayhuaman stands as a pinnacle of Incan engineering and craftsmanship, incorporating advanced techniques that continue to puzzle historians and engineers even today. The massive boulders used in its construction were quarried from limestone deposits around Cusco, and transporting these behemoths, some weighing as much as 200 tons and spanning several kilometers, remains one of the great enigmas of Incan ability. It is believed that thousands of laborers, without the aid of the wheel or large animals, maneuvered these stones using nothing but logs, ropes, and collective human strength. The cutting precision of these stones is nothing short of extraordinary. The Incas mastered a technique known as ashlar masonry, which allowed them to fit stones so tightly together that no mortar was needed. The fit is so snug that not even a blade of grass can slip through the joints, which also provided significant earthquake resistance. The stones could shift slightly and resettle without causing the structure to collapse, an essential feature in the earthquake-prone Andes. Moreover, the architectural layout of the walls, composed of gigantic stones in a zigzag pattern, forms 3 parallel lines that merge into a formidable barrier. This design served not only as a strategic military defense, but also held symbolic meanings, perhaps representing the teeth of a puma, with Cusco itself theorized to be laid out in the shape of this sacred animal when viewed from above. Expanding beyond its visible structure, the layout of Sacsayhuaman is deeply complex and extends into both ceremonial and strategic realms. The zigzag walls, stretching over 600 meters, seem to echo the jagged peaks of the Andes themselves, blending the natural landscape into its sacred architecture. This design not only provided a stunning aesthetic connection to its surroundings, but also reflected the Incas' profound reverence for nature and the deities believed to reside within these natural elements. Researchers have also suggested that Sacsayhuaman's design incorporates an acoustic feature. Tests have shown that sounds made at certain points within the complex can be clearly heard across vast distances without any echo, indicating a sophisticated understanding of sound dynamics. This acoustical engineering would have been particularly advantageous during large gatherings and ceremonies, allowing leaders' voices to be projected to extensive crowds. Additionally, the site's astronomical significance is highlighted by the orientations of its walls and specific architectural features, which align with celestial events such as solstices and equinoxes. Continuing with the architectural and engineering marvels of Sacsayhuaman, the Incas demonstrated remarkable ingenuity in water management by incorporating an advanced drainage system within the construction. This system was critical in handling the heavy rainfalls typical of the region, effectively preventing erosion and water damage to the structure. Alongside this, the tiered terraces not only provided a robust defense mechanism, but were also ingeniously used to manage soil erosion and fertility, likely supporting gardens or smaller structures within the complex. When comparing Sacsayhuaman to another iconic Inca site, Machu Picchu, some intriguing differences and similarities emerge, particularly in terms of purpose, function, and construction techniques. Sacsayhuaman, often misconceived solely as a fortress due to its massive walls and strategic location, primarily served as a ceremonial site and a symbol of imperial power and divine authority. In contrast, Machu Picchu, built around the mid-15th century, functioned as a royal estate for Emperor Pachacuti and was heavily focused on religious ceremonies and astronomical observations. The construction styles of these two sites also reflect their differing roles and philosophies. Sacsayhuaman is characterized by the use of enormous stones, meticulously fitted together without the use of mortar. This construction technique, showcasing large-scale monumental architecture, was likely intended to display power and durability. On the other hand, Machu Picchu, while also renowned for its precision stonework, utilizes smaller, more regularly shaped stones that integrate seamlessly with the natural landscape, reflecting an overarching philosophy of harmony and balance with nature. Moreover, the locations and overall designs of Sacsayhuaman and Machu Picchu further highlight their distinct purposes. Sacsayhuaman's position on a high plateau overlooking Cusco gives it a robust, militaristic, and expansive design, symbolizing its role as a guardian over the capital. In stark contrast, Machu Picchu is nestled between mountain peaks, often enshrouded in mist, creating a more secluded and mystical ambience that is designed to blend into its mountainous surroundings, emphasizing its spiritual and retreat-like nature. These strategic choices in location and design not only served practical purposes, but also conveyed the spiritual and cultural values of the Inca civilization. Continuing the exploration of Incan architectural ingenuity, Sacsayhuaman not only stands out as an architectural and ceremonial masterpiece, but also as a strategic military fortress, exemplifying the Incas' deep understanding of military tactics and effective landscape utilization. Its defensive characteristics are meticulously designed, blending the natural and constructed environments seamlessly. Strategically perched on a hill overlooking Cusco, Sacsayhuaman's elevated position offered the Incas a crucial vantage point from which they could observe any approaching threats. This advantageous positioning provided ample time to prepare defenses or mount counterattacks, making it an integral part of the region's security. Access to Sacsayhuaman was deliberately limited, with a few heavily guarded entrances. These were intentionally designed to be narrow, forcing attacking forces to enter in reduced numbers and become vulnerable to attacks from defenders positioned along the walls above and to the sides. Within the walls, the arrangement allowed for excellent visibility and easy communication between different sections of the fortress. Signal fires and other forms of visual messaging were used to coordinate defensive efforts across Sacsayhuaman and with other nearby fortifications, further enhancing its defensive capabilities. When comparing the defensive structures of Sacsayhuaman with those of medieval European castles, like the iconic Edinburgh Castle in Scotland, several intriguing contrasts and similarities come to light. Unlike the stone and mortar construction typical of European castles, Sacsayhuaman's walls were crafted using the ashlar technique, which involves fitting stones together without mortar. This technique not only provided significant earthquake resistance, but also ensured there were no weak points like mortar that could be easily undermined or eroded. Both Sacsayhuaman and many medieval castles share the strategic positioning on elevated ground, a common defensive feature that underscores the universal tactical advantage of controlling high ground. This strategic similarity highlights the shared understanding of defensive architecture across different cultures and epochs, each adapting to their unique environments and technological capabilities.
There was a Spanish traveler who crossed the entire width of South America. And on the way, yes, he reported seeing huge cities. Within 100 years, other Spaniards were in there exploring. They couldn't find the cities. I think that we are dealing with a lost civilization that was shamanistic in its basis. And they're only being found now.
Deep in the high, rugged terrain of the Sacred Valley, the Temple of the Sun at Ollantaytambo stands as a marvel of ancient engineering. The temple's most awe-inspiring feature is undoubtedly the wall of the 6 monoliths, composed of enormous stones weighing tens of tons each. The mystery of how these massive stones were transported to such an elevated location without modern technology continues to baffle scientists, historians, and archaeologists alike.
Some people think that the answer is extraterrestrial visitors. I don't think that's the answer, but who knows?
While theories abound, from the use of log rollers and ramps to the sheer force of human and animal power, the exact methods remain a subject of speculation and admiration.
Incredible megaliths there, which archaeology gives entirely to the Incas, even though the Incas themselves recognized and honored the work of predecessors.
The discovery of the Temple of the Sun in Ollantaytambo within the Sacred Valley is a proof to the blend of local wisdom and global scholarly interest that has illuminated many Incan sites to the world. This particular site's journey into modern awareness began in earnest during the 19th century and gained significant momentum from the explorative zeal of the early 20th century. Notable figures like Hiram Bingham, known for bringing Machu Picchu to global attention in 1911, played a crucial role in setting the stage for the exploration, even though he wasn't directly involved in its discovery. The first detailed accounts emerged from the efforts of explorers like Sir Clements Markham in the late 19th century. These early explorers documented the Inca trails and their connecting sites, marveling at Ollantaytambo's grandeur and intricate stonework while noting its potential significance. By the 1920s and 1930s, more thorough expeditions were conducted. Both Peruvian and international teams worked to catalogue the ruins using early photographic techniques, which helped to create detailed records that would prove invaluable for both restoration and further study.
If you wish to pass information to a distant future, you wouldn't be smart to just write it down. How can we know that our script is going to be readable by any other culture, let's say 10,000 years in the future?
The mid-20th century brought a surge of archaeological interest that introduced more scientific methods to the study of this ancient site. Beginning in the 1950s, archaeological teams started applying rigorous scientific techniques to their excavations, notably during the 1960s under the direction of American archaeologist John Rowe. His work was pivotal in contextualizing Ollantaytambo within the broader narrative of the Inca Empire's expansion and religious practices. These teams made significant technological advances, employing early photographic equipment and, later on, more sophisticated imaging techniques to analyze the alignment of the temple's stones. This was especially important for understanding the temple's role in relation to astronomical events, such as the solstices, which held considerable significance in Inca cosmology.
On the summer solstice, you're going to see the sun rising far to the north of east. Go there on the winter solstice, you're going to see it far to the south of east.
The local Quechua communities also played an essential role in the rediscovery and understanding of the Temple of the Sun. Their oral histories and legends, passed down through generations, spoke of the temple's celestial alignments and its role in Inca rituals. These stories often provided the missing links in understanding the site's function, highlighting the significance of specific stone placements and their relationship to Inca astrology. On many occasions, local stories guided archaeologists to specific parts of the site that had been overlooked or misunderstood. For instance, the legend of the Path of the Sun helped researchers identify and understand the importance of certain architectural lines that align with the sun during the winter solstice, further enriching our understanding of this magnificent site.
That advanced civilization emerged out of shamanism itself. Shamans are very observant of the cosmos and of what is going on.
Continuing our exploration of Ollantaytambo's fascinating features, let's delve into the marvel of the Wall of the Six Monoliths. This structure is a stunning testament to Inca engineering and architectural skill, comprising 6 massive stones, each carved with incredible precision. The craftsmanship is so meticulous that the joints between the stones are practically invisible, often said to be so tight that not even a piece of paper can slide through. The construction process of this wall was no small feat. The Incas employed sophisticated stoneworking techniques honed over generations. The stones, sourced from quarries several kilometers away, required a complex logistical effort to transport. While the exact methods remain a subject of debate among historians, theories include the use of log rollers, llamas, and substantial human labor. Upon arrival at the site, these stones were shaped with great care to fit together seamlessly, using a technique known as ashlar masonry, which involves cutting stones to fit without the need for mortar. This not only enhanced the wall's aesthetic and structural integrity, but also its resilience against the region's frequent earthquakes. Understanding the geological and architectural principles was crucial for the construction of such a structure. The Inca builders meticulously selected types of stone for their durability and resistance to weathering. The strategic alignment and interlocking of the stones added to the wall's stability, effectively distributing seismic forces across the structure rather than concentrating them at any single point. Adding to the mystique of the Temple of the Sun is its status as an unfinished monument. The construction was abruptly halted, marked by a chaotic scene where tools and materials were left scattered around the site. Large, partially carved stone blocks still lie around the site, painting a vivid picture of a sudden and dramatic cessation of work. This snapshot in time provides a unique window into the Inca construction techniques and the meticulous planning that characterized their building processes.
Is knowledge preserved and passed down through the ages? Yes, I think it is.
To truly appreciate the enormity of the Wall of the Six Monoliths, consider that each stone could weigh as much as 50 tons. This scale is comparable to the weight of 10 large African elephants or about 35 compact cars. Such comparisons not only highlight the ingenuity of the Inca builders, but also help us grasp the sheer scale of their architectural achievements. While exploring the impressive architectural feats of the Incas, another fascinating element at Ollantaytambo is the water mirrors near the Temple of the Sun. These reflective pools serve as a testament to the Incas' refined engineering and deep astronomical knowledge. Crafted to manipulate natural elements for both practical and ceremonial purposes, these water mirrors showcase a profound understanding of the environment. The design of these water mirrors was both ingenious and purposeful. The bases were made of flat, smooth stones polished to a high sheen, enhancing their reflective properties. The edges of the pools were lined with precisely cut stones, ensuring the water remained still and perfectly mirrored the sky above. The primary function of these mirrors was to observe and track celestial bodies, aiding the Incas in determining critical agricultural and calendrical periods. Such observations were vital for the timing of crop plantings and harvests, as well as for setting the dates of various religious festivals and ceremonies. The Incas demonstrated advanced hydraulic skills in constructing these water mirrors. They expertly channeled water from nearby rivers or springs through a complex system of aqueducts, ensuring a continuous flow into the mirrors throughout the year. This capability highlights their profound mastery of water management, which was essential for the functionality of the mirrors. The importance of these water mirrors came to light again in the late 20th century when they were rediscovered during a detailed archaeological survey. Covered by overgrowth and filled with debris for centuries, the mirrors were largely forgotten until the 1990s. Archaeologists, using ground-penetrating radar and traditional excavation techniques, found anomalies in the soil that led to the uncovering of these structures. Restoring them posed significant challenges. The process involved delicate procedures to clear the vegetation and debris without damaging the ancient stonework. Specialists in stone conservation were tasked with repairing cracks and replacing missing stones, using materials and techniques that matched the original Incan craftsmanship. An interesting parallel can be drawn between these Incan water mirrors and the Roman impluvium, water features central to Roman atrium houses designed to collect rainwater. While both cultures utilized architectural features involving water for practical purposes, the Incas took it a step further by integrating their water mirrors into their spiritual and astronomical practices, significantly differing from the Romans' primarily domestic use. This comparison highlights not only the universal human fascination with reflective surfaces in architecture across different cultures, but also the unique adaptations of such features to meet specific cultural needs and beliefs.
Everybody's heard about the Aztecs, everybody's heard about the Maya. But before the Aztecs and before the Maya, there were a culture who are referred to as the Olmecs. I explored the Olmec mystery in considerable depth.
At the turn of the 19th to the 20th century, an era brimming with curiosity and the spirit of discovery, the ancient civilizations of Mesoamerica began to captivate scholars and adventurers alike. This period, steeped in Victorian-era fascination, saw ancient cultures not as relics of the past, but as windows into a grand, albeit lost, world.
The settlement story of the Americas is much more complicated than we've realized.
Fueled by a mix of exploration, colonization, and a penchant for romanticizing the unknown, people were drawn to the mysteries that ancient societies held. Institutions in Europe and the United States, including museums and universities, recognized the value of understanding these indigenous civilizations. They began to fund expeditions, not just for the sake of collecting artifacts, but to delve deeper into the history and culture of these ancient peoples. This marked a significant shift in archaeology, transforming it from a quest for treasures to a scientific discipline focused on careful excavation and analysis.
This is part of a curious mystery that is not unconnected to the genetic mystery.
The Olmec civilization, with its colossal heads and intricate stone structures, was one of the earliest to be uncovered. Yet in these initial stages, many artifacts were mistakenly attributed to the more familiar Maya and Aztec civilizations. This was largely due to their apparent similarities in artistic style, and because these civilizations were better understood at the time.
It's been known by archaeologists for quite a long time that there are anomalous skulls in parts of Brazil.
The unique aspects of Olmec art and iconography were not immediately recognized, highlighting the challenges faced by early archaeologists in differentiating between the complex cultures of the region. Two figures who played a pivotal role in bringing the wonders of Mesoamerica to the Western world were John Lloyd Stephens and Frederick Catherwood. Their expeditions, documented in Incidents of Travel in Central America, Chiapas and Yucatan, and Incidents of Travel in Yucatan, not only introduced the Maya civilization to many, but also set a standard for future archaeological work. Their detailed illustrations and engaging narratives captured the imagination of the public, sparking a wave of interest in ancient Mesoamerican cultures. This era also saw the beginnings of comparative archaeology, where discoveries from Mesoamerica were placed in a global context, offering new perspectives on the development of human societies. Museums evolved from mere collections of curiosities to centers of research and education, significantly contributing to the dissemination of knowledge about these ancient cultures. Furthermore, the late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed the emergence of interdisciplinary approaches in archaeology, incorporating anthropology, linguistics, and even early environmental science, which enriched the understanding of Mesoamerican civilizations. The story of how the colossal stone heads became recognized as a key to understanding the Olmec civilization is a fascinating tale of curiosity, exploration, and eventual enlightenment within the archaeological world. Initially stumbled upon by Western archaeologists in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, these massive sculptures, some towering over 9 feet tall and weighing several tons, presented a mystery.
But what's fascinating about them is they are supposedly the first high civilization of Central America.
With their distinctive facial features, including flat noses and fleshy cheeks and often adorned with helmet-like headgear, they captivated those who found them but left many questions unanswered.
What do we think those helmets were that they were wearing?
Nobody knows, because no physical example of such a helmet has ever been found, just like no physical example of an Egyptian pharaoh's crown has ever been found.
The first significant acknowledgement of these heads came from José Melgar y Serrano in 1862, when he uncovered one at Tres Zapotes in Veracruz. Melgar described the sculpture as having Ethiopian features, a reflection of the era's interpretations and biases, underscoring how little was known about the Olmecs then. Although Melgar's discovery was groundbreaking, it was initially seen as an isolated find rather than evidence of a broader, unknown civilization. For decades, these colossal heads were viewed more as curious anomalies rather than vital cultural artifacts. Without a wider archaeological context, their true significance was overlooked, and they were sometimes wrongly attributed to other known civilizations like the Maya or Aztec, or even to entirely speculative, unknown cultures. It was a puzzle missing its broader picture, waiting for the pieces to be put together. The narrative began to shift in the mid-20th century, thanks to more focused and systematic excavations in the Olmec heartland, led by archaeologists such as Matthew Stirling. These efforts unearthed additional colossal heads alongside other artifacts, helping to piece together the puzzle of the Olmec civilization. It was through this dedicated work that the Olmecs were finally recognized as a distinct and influential culture in Mesoamerica, predating and potentially influencing subsequent civilizations like the Maya and Aztecs. In 1945, a groundbreaking expedition led by Matthew Stirling to San Lorenzo Tenochtitlan dramatically advanced our understanding of the Olmec civilization, an enigmatic culture that laid the foundational stones of Mesoamerican history. Recognizing the potential significance of these sites, the Smithsonian Institution stepped in, providing the necessary support and funding for a more thorough exploration. The vastness of San Lorenzo, spreading across several kilometers, presented another hurdle. It was impossible to excavate the entire site in one go, so Stirling and his team had to make strategic decisions about where to dig, prioritizing areas where surface finds indicated the presence of significant artifacts. This meticulous approach to excavation was critical, requiring careful planning, mapping, and a methodical technique to ensure the delicate artifacts, some centuries old, were preserved for future study. As they cleared the jungle overgrowth and dug into the ancient soil, Stirling's team was not just unearthing artifacts, they were also piecing together the story of the Olmec civilization. Every artifact, every stone, and every fragment of pottery added a new chapter to our understanding of this ancient culture. The detailed recording and documentation of their findings were essential, providing a basis for future analysis and helping to paint a fuller picture of the Olmec way of life. San Lorenzo, dating back to around 1200 to 900 BCE, stands as a monumental beacon in the study of Mesoamerican history, often celebrated as the oldest major city in the region. This ancient city predates the civilizations of the Maya and Aztecs, providing a unique glimpse into the dawn of complex societies in the Americas. Thanks to radiocarbon dating, researchers have been able to pin down the timeline of San Lorenzo, offering a clearer view of the Olmec civilization's early days. Among the most striking discoveries at San Lorenzo, the site has yielded jade figurines and celts, indicating robust trade networks and the cultural significance of jade. An array of pottery styles found at the site offers insights into daily life, artistic expression, and the Olmec's trade relations. The discovery of large structures, including platforms and possible elite residences, points to a highly organized society capable of mobilizing significant labor resources. The urban layout of San Lorenzo, organized around a central axis, reflects a thoughtfully planned development. The existence of distinct ceremonial and residential areas suggests a sophisticated urban structure, possibly mirroring social hierarchies within the Olmec society. In the 1950s, the archaeological spotlight turned to La Venta, an Olmec site in Tabasco, Mexico, building on the momentum of earlier discoveries at San Lorenzo. This shift marked a significant phase in unraveling the mysteries of the Olmec civilization, regarded as one of the earliest complex societies in Mesoamerica. With a renewed interest in the Olmec culture, archaeologists like Philip Drucker and Robert Heiser applied advanced methods and interdisciplinary approaches to dig deeper into the site's secrets, offering a more comprehensive understanding of this ancient civilization. La Venta thrived between approximately 900 to 400 BCE, a period that witnessed the peak of Olmec cultural and artistic development. This era underscored the Olmecs' remarkable achievements in architecture, art, and urban planning, setting a precedent for subsequent Mesoamerican cultures. Among the distinct features of La Venta is the Great Pyramid, a monumental structure made of earth and clay, noted for its unique conical shape. Unlike the pyramidal structures that would later dominate Mesoamerican landscapes, the Great Pyramid's design and scale highlight the Olmecs' advanced engineering skills and their capacity for organizing large-scale construction projects. This pyramid, along with other structures at the site, was aligned with celestial bodies, hinting at the Olmecs' sophisticated understanding of astronomy and suggesting its role as a ceremonial and cultural hub. The systematic excavation efforts at La Venta brought to light not only architectural innovations but also a wealth of artifacts, including the iconic colossal heads carved from basalt, believed to represent rulers or significant figures within Olmec society. Similarly, altars adorned with intricate carvings provided glimpses into the civilization's mythology and rituals. La Venta also revealed complex burial sites and offerings, including serpentine mosaic pavements, which offered insights into the civilization's funerary practices and religious beliefs. These findings have been instrumental in piecing together the social structure, religious practices, and artistic achievements of the Olmec civilization, significantly influencing the study of Mesoamerican archaeology. However, the preservation of La Venta faces challenges due to the tropical climate and human factors, underscoring the importance of ongoing research and conservation efforts. The exploration of La Venta in the 1950s was a watershed moment in understanding the depth and complexity of the Olmec civilization, providing a foundation for future studies and ensuring the legacy of this pivotal culture in Mesoamerican history remains appreciated and preserved.
It's interesting that the patterns are geometrical. Someone made it, and it involved a very large amount of organized labor in order to make it. There had to be the will and the intent in order to do that.
Nestled on the outskirts of Cusco, the once thriving capital of the Inca Empire, lies the enigmatic site of Sacsayhuaman. This marvel of ancient engineering has captured the imagination of historians and archaeologists alike, thanks to its remarkable architectural features.
I would prefer to propose, and I have proposed, that what we're looking at is evidence of some kind of transfer of technology, that people came into that area who had other knowledge.
The site, believed to have been a royal estate or a sacred space for Inca leaders, is most famous for its colossal stone walls, forming three-tiered terraces that zigzag across the landscape like the teeth of some giant beast. The sheer size of the stones used, some tipping the scales at a staggering 200 tons, and the precision with which they're fitted together is nothing short of awe-inspiring.
This is a very neglected area of the world as far as deep and ancient archaeology goes.
The joints between these massive boulders are so meticulously crafted that they leave no space for even a sliver of paper to pass through, showcasing an advanced knowledge of stonemasonry and perhaps an understanding of seismic activities, as these structures have withstood numerous earthquakes over the centuries. While mainstream archaeology attributes these feats to the Incas' sophisticated engineering skills, using simple but effective tools and techniques, Graham Hancock invites us to ponder a more mysterious origin.
A curious mystery that is not unconnected to the genetic mystery.
He speculates that the Inca might have been heirs to a legacy of knowledge and technology from a bygone civilization, now lost to history. This theory suggests that the astonishing precision and durability of Sacsayhuaman's walls could be evidence of an advanced pre-Inca society that had mastered construction techniques far beyond what was previously imagined for their time. Hancock's fascination doesn't stop at the construction techniques. He delves into the site's possible acoustic properties and astronomical alignments, suggesting that Sacsayhuaman was not just an architectural marvel, but also a center for astronomical observation and sound engineering. These features hint at a sophisticated understanding of the cosmos and sound, further fueling the speculation that the site's creators were far more advanced than we give them credit for. The mystery of Sacsayhuaman is deepened by the Incas' lack of a written language, which has led to a significant loss of their oral history following the Spanish conquest. This absence of concrete historical records leaves a gap in our understanding of the site's true purpose and the extent of the Incas' architectural knowledge. Despite these challenges, Sacsayhuaman's cultural and historical significance cannot be overstated. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it attracts thousands of tourists each year, serving as a vital link to the past and a testament to the Inca civilization's ingenuity. Now, the story of the Inca Empire, or Tawantinsuyu. This narrative takes us back to the early 13th century, around the region of Cusco in what's now Peru. It's here that the saga begins with Manco Capac, the mythical founder and first emperor believed to be chosen by the sun god Inti himself. From such divine origins, the Inca embarked on an ambitious journey of expansion, blending military might and diplomatic savvy to weave together a tapestry of conquered territories and assimilated cultures. At its zenith, this empire spanned modern-day Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Argentina, Chile, and Colombia, creating the largest empire in pre-Columbian America. But what truly sets the Inca apart are their engineering marvels. Imagine a network of roads over 40,000 kilometers long, connecting the arid coastlines of Peru to the snow-capped Andes, a testament to the Incas' engineering genius. This wasn't just any road system, it was the Capac Ñan, or the Royal Road, a feat of ancient infrastructure that included everything from stone-paved paths to suspension bridges made of woven grass. These pathways were vital arteries of the empire, supported by tambos and storehouses that provided essential supplies to travelers and military expeditions alike. Yet, the Incas' ingenuity didn't stop at roadways. They transformed the steep Andean mountainsides with agricultural terraces, preventing erosion and expanding arable land, all while developing sophisticated irrigation systems to water these terraced fields. Their expertise in water management extended to canals and aqueducts that channeled water from mountain springs to dry areas, ensuring the survival of dense populations. The heart of this empire was Cusco, a city that was not only the political center but also an urban planning marvel. Cusco was divided into sectors that mirrored the four parts of the empire, each sector meticulously planned and organized. And then there's Machu Picchu, the crown jewel of Inca architecture, perched high in the mountains and blending seamlessly with the landscape. This iconic site, with its terraces, temples, and palaces, showcases the Incas' unparalleled skill in stonework, stones so precisely cut and fitted that they've withstood centuries of earthquakes. Now moving back to Graham Hancock, a name synonymous with challenging the traditional narratives of history and archaeology, has long fascinated us with his theories on the ancient world.
Are we looking at the traces of a forgotten episode in human history? I think so. I think that's what's going on here.
He suggests that civilizations like the Inca were not only more technologically advanced, but also more interconnected than we've been led to believe. Let's take a closer look at some of the intriguing ideas Hancock puts forward. First off, consider the Incas' ingenious system of communication. They had these runners known as chasqui, who could sprint across the empire's vast network of roads and trails, passing messages with incredible efficiency. But it wasn't just about legwork. The Inca also used quipus, complex knot patterns on strings that may have been more than mere accounting tools. Hancock muses that these could have carried detailed messages, perhaps even stories across vast distances. He even floats the idea that there might have been even more sophisticated yet undiscovered methods of communication, hinting at a possible global network of ancient knowledge sharing. Then there's the matter of construction techniques. The precision seen in the stonework of sites like Sacsayhuaman is staggering. Without mortar, these stones have been cut and fitted together so perfectly that they've withstood earthquakes for centuries. Hancock suggests this might point to lost technologies, far more advanced than what's been historically acknowledged.
Perhaps a decision was made not to use metal. Perhaps a decision was made that errors had taken place, that in reinventing civilization we shouldn't perhaps go down quite the same route as before.
And it's not just about stones and construction. He speculates the Inca had ways to harness natural energies, like geothermal or solar energy, in ways we're yet to fully understand. Hancock doesn't stop there. He observes how the Incas' agricultural practices, from terracing to sophisticated irrigation, showcase a sustainable way of living with the environment, possibly part of a broader, now-lost knowledge of ancient civilizations. This idea of sustainability, coupled with their architectural and engineering feats, paints a picture of a society that was not only advanced but deeply in tune with the natural world. Moreover, Hancock draws parallels between the architectural styles, religious beliefs, and cultural practices across different ancient civilizations. The similarities in megalithic constructions across South America, Egypt, and Asia, the use of psychoactive plants in spiritual rituals, and even practices like cranial deformation and mummification suggest a web of cultural exchange or influence that spans the globe. Graham Hancock, a name often associated with thinking outside of the box. Among his many interests, the Inca Empire stands out for its sophisticated communication networks and astronomical know-how, areas where Hancock's ideas veer sharply from the mainstream narrative. Hancock looks at the Incas' architectural marvels, like the precision-engineered Temple of the Sun at Machu Picchu, and sees a civilization deeply in tune with the cosmos. These buildings weren't just about looking pretty. They aligned with celestial events like the solstices and equinoxes, serving both practical agricultural needs and the ceremonial calendar. It's this star-aligned architecture that leads Hancock to ponder if the Incas' cosmic knowledge was inherited from an even older global civilization, suggesting a world where ancient peoples shared a sophisticated understanding of astronomy long before it was thought possible. Hancock's theories, while met with skepticism from the academic establishment, undeniably add zest to the ongoing dialogue about our ancestors. By proposing that the Inca were part of a technologically advanced and interconnected ancient world, he challenges us to rethink what we thought we knew about the past. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, Hancock's insights into the Inca Empire invite us all to explore the mysteries of ancient civilizations with fresh eyes, reminding us that history is anything but written in stone.
But what's fascinating about them is they are supposedly the first high civilization of Central America, that they create structures on a massive scale, that you can see connections between them and the later Maya.
For the Maya, the Milky Way was a particularly important feature of the heavens. They conceived of it as the road that led to their netherworld, Xibalba.
In the verdant lands of Central America, the ancient Maya civilization flourished with a mysterious brilliance that continues to captivate the world. Among the many enigmas they left behind, their profound understanding of astronomy stands as a testament to their intellectual prowess. Graham Hancock, a modern explorer of ancient mysteries, delves deep into this aspect of the Maya, proposing intriguing theories that stretch the bounds of conventional history.
That whole mystery of the Mayan calendar was clearly inherited from the Olmecs. It wasn't something the Maya made up. The Olmecs used that same symbolism. So the Mayan calendar is actually an Olmec calendar.
The Maya long count calendar, a marvel of ancient engineering, intricately tracked a 5,125-year cycle with astonishing precision. This calendar wasn't just a tool for marking time. It was a complex understanding of celestial cycles, intertwining the Maya's daily lives with the cosmos. Hancock suggests that this precision hints at a deeper, possibly inherited, knowledge of astronomy. Was this sophisticated understanding a legacy from a much older, now lost civilization? When one looks at the grandeur of Maya structures such as the pyramid at Chichen Itza, the brilliance of their astronomical alignment is striking. During the equinoxes, the play of light and shadow on this pyramid creates the illusion of a serpent slithering down its steps. To Hancock, these architectural marvels are not just buildings, but celestial maps, echoing an advanced understanding of the cosmos.
Orion was extensively involved in Mayan rebirth beliefs, which described the constellation and specifically its 3 belt stars as the turtle of rebirth. In Egypt, as amongst the Maya, the stellar context involves Orion and the Milky Way.
The Mayas' awareness of the ecliptic, the path followed by the sun, moon, and planets across the sky, further fuels Hancock's theories. Their ability to predict solar and lunar eclipses and track the movements of Venus, which they revered as the god Kukulkan, showcases their deep astronomical knowledge. Did they learn this from an older civilization? Hancock wonders. A civilization lost in the depths of time. Hancock theorizes that the Maya might have been part of a vast network of ancient civilizations, sharing knowledge across seas and continents. This global maritime culture, as he envisages, could have been a conduit for transferring advanced astronomical and architectural knowledge to the Maya. The architectural designs of the Maya, seen in their pyramids, temples, and cities, reflect a level of technological and engineering skill that seems almost ahead of their time. Were these skills handed down from a previous, more advanced civilization? The mathematical systems of the Maya, including their use of zero, a concept rare in the ancient world, were integral to their astronomical calculations. Hancock proposes that this mathematical sophistication, too, might be a legacy from a forgotten civilization.
We're not what it's all about at all. That there may have been an earlier civilization that reached a high level of advancement, perhaps different from ours, but nevertheless an advanced civilization, which was just taken out of the story completely by a global cataclysm.
In a tale woven from the threads of ancient mysteries, Graham Hancock, a modern-day seeker of lost truths, presents a fascinating theory. He imagines a world where an advanced civilization, predating the ancient cultures known to history, once thrived. This civilization, possibly flourishing before the last ice age ended around 10,000 BCE, was a beacon of knowledge in fields like astronomy, architecture, and mathematics. Hancock's story tells of a society whose influence stretched far beyond its own time and space, touching various corners of the ancient world, including the enigmatic Maya civilization.
I think, and it's my case, that it wiped our memory of a previous episode of human civilization, that right at the epicenter of this cataclysm was a civilization that we would regard as advanced, not a simple hunter-gatherer civilization, which was utterly wiped out in this cataclysmic event.
However, this ancient global society in Hancock's story faced a dramatic and catastrophic end. He hypothesizes that a cataclysmic event, such as a comet impact or a massive flood, nearly obliterated this civilization. But not all was lost. The survivors, carrying the torch of their advanced knowledge, ventured out into the world. These bearers of ancient wisdom found their way to other, less advanced societies and shared their knowledge, planting the seeds for new civilizations to grow. Among these were the Maya, who, in Hancock's view, may have been one of the many inheritors of this ancient legacy. Hancock points to the Mayas' remarkable architectural and astronomical achievements as evidence of this influence. The precision of their calendar systems, their understanding of celestial cycles, and the alignment of their buildings with astronomical events are, in his narrative, not just the fruits of their own ingenuity, but possibly a heritage from a civilization lost in the mists of time. He draws parallels between the architectural styles, religious beliefs, and astronomical knowledge found across various ancient cultures, suggesting these similarities might be remnants of a shared source of ancient wisdom.
Because we now know that at that time, between 12,800 and 11,600 years ago, truly global cataclysmic events involving rapid rises in sea level did occur, and suddenly the worldwide tradition of a global flood stops being just a myth and starts being a memory.
In a narrative that intertwines the mysteries of ancient seas with the Maya calendar, Graham Hancock, a storyteller of history's hidden chapters, brings to life his theories of a bygone era. He paints a picture of an ancient world, not fragmented by vast oceans, but connected through them. This world, according to Hancock, was home to a sophisticated global maritime culture. This culture, adept in the art of navigation and shipbuilding, embarked on extensive sea voyages, knitting together the far-flung civilizations of the ancient world. Hancock's tale is not just about the movement of ships, but also about the flow of ideas, technologies, and beliefs. He sees the similarities in architectural styles and construction techniques across different ancient cultures as whispers of a shared knowledge, possibly disseminated through this maritime network. In this story, ancient seafarers are the unsung heroes, ferrying not just goods but also the seeds of culture and religion across the world's watery expanse. He draws parallels with the Polynesian navigators, known for their remarkable oceanic voyages, suggesting that similar capabilities could have existed among these ancient maritime cultures.
They're telling us that this lost civilization was submerged in a great flood around 11,600 years before our time. This is why I think we need to pay attention to the Atlantis story rather than just write it off as the ravings of the lunatic fringe.
But Hancock's narrative takes an intriguing turn as he touches upon the mysterious Maya civilization and their long count calendar. This calendar, a sophisticated timekeeping system, tracks a cycle of approximately 5,125 years, culminating in a date that modern calendars align with December 21st, 2012. Hancock, weaving a tale from the threads of time, views this not as an apocalyptic end, but as a significant moment in Maya cosmology, a marker of major transition or transformation. In this story, the 2012 phenomenon is not a tale of doom, but a moment of cosmological significance, possibly indicating a shift in human consciousness or the dawn of a new era in human history. Hancock uses this moment to discuss the broader concept of historical cycles, how ancient civilizations understood and measured time, and their alignment with astronomical events such as the precession of the equinoxes and the galaxy's alignment. Graham Hancock, a modern-day chronicler of lost civilizations, presents a captivating theory. He tells a story of Earth's history punctuated by cataclysmic events, asteroid impacts, massive floods, and volcanic eruptions that have periodically reshaped the course of human civilization. In this tale, these cataclysms are not just natural disasters, but pivotal moments that lead to the rise and fall of civilizations, causing a reset of human progress.